Political philosophies shape our societies and influence how we govern ourselves. Let's dive into some of the most prominent ones: democracy, kingship, communism, and a few others. First up, democracy. At its core, democracy is about the people having a voice. It's a system where citizens participate in decision-making, typically through voting. Think of it as a collective agreement on how to run a society. There are variations, like direct democracy, where citizens vote on laws themselves, and representative democracy, where they elect officials to make those decisions. The beauty of democracy lies in its emphasis on individual rights and freedoms, but it can also lead to challenges, like the risk of the majority overriding minority rights. Now let's shift gears to kingship, often associated with monarchy. In a traditional monarchy, power is concentrated in the hands of a king or queen, usually inherited. There are absolute monarchies, where the monarch has unchecked power, and constitutional monarchies, where their powers are limited by a constitution or laws. While kingship can provide stability and continuity, it can also lead to tyranny if the ruler becomes despotic. The question often arises, is it better to have a single ruler or a collective decision-making body? Next, we have communism, a philosophy that emerged from the ideas of Karl Marx. Communism advocates for a classless society where all property is publicly owned, and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs. In theory, it aims to eliminate the disparities seen in capitalist societies. However, in practice, many communist regimes have struggled with authoritarianism and economic inefficiencies. The ideal of a classless society often clashes with the reality of human ambition and governance. Then there's socialism, which shares some roots with communism but allows for more flexibility. Socialism advocates for social ownership and democratic control of the means of production. It can coexist with democratic principles, allowing for a mixed economy where both private and public sectors thrive. Countries like Sweden and Norway exemplify this blend, providing robust social welfare systems while maintaining a capitalist economy. Another interesting philosophy is libertarianism, which emphasizes individual freedom and minimal government intervention. Libertarians argue that the best government is the one that governs least, advocating for personal responsibility and free markets. While this philosophy champions personal liberties, critics argue that it can neglect the needs of the vulnerable and lead to significant inequalities. Lastly, we can't overlook authoritarianism, where power is concentrated in a single leader or a small group, often at the expense of personal freedoms. Authoritarian regimes can maintain order and stability, but they often do so through repression and lack of political pluralism. The balance between security and freedom is a constant tension in political discourse. Each of these philosophies presents a unique lens through which to view governance and society. They reflect different values and priorities, from individual rights to collective welfare. Understanding these differences helps us navigate the complex landscape of political thought and its impact on our lives.